I won my first international gold medal at the Vladivostok World Cup in 2014 in dolphin kick category. Athletes from 36 countries were there. When organizers announced my name, all of them were surprised, saying, "Isn't Mongolia a landlocked country with Gobi Desert and goats? Do they really swim, let alone in cold water?" So after stepping onto the podium, I told them Mongolians can swim. Our ancestors had sailed seas and oceans hundreds of years ago. Our great Genghis Khan built one of the largest empires in the world. We have Olympic medalists in judo, shooting, boxing and wrestling. I'm here to prove that we can swim. Now, Mongolian winter swimming is known in 67 countries because of my achievements. Whenever I enter a competition, I wear a wolf fur hat and coat to distinguish myself from others and to show my people's culture.
Dawadarch took up swimming in 1983 when he was 14 years old and won numerous medals from national and international competitions. 5 years later, when he was studying to become an electrician in Russia, he fell in love with another sport, bodybuilding. And again, he became a national bodybuilding champion 3 times. Dawadarch's life principle has always been the same, to be the best at everything he does, no matter the obstacles. And that's what he told himself 5 years ago when everyone was against his decision to take up winter swimming. Because people actually lose their lives during the winter swimming competitions. So how does Dawadarch prepare himself before diving into bone-chilling open water?
ер нь энэ өөр их экстрим спортын төрөлхтөө төмөний саяны дэлхийн цомын аврах дээр.
This is an extreme sport. A participant has died during the Tumen World Cup in Russia recently. He had been dipping in frozen river for 30 years, but it was his first winter swimming competition. He had a stroke while competing in 50 meters category. So there are big differences between taking a dip in cold water and swimming in open water. Normally, a heart pumps around 42 liters of blood throughout the body in a minute. But this number spikes up to 160 due to narrowing of blood vessels caused by cold water. So it's all about adapting to the extreme environment that tests the limit of your mental and physical strength. To accustom my body to cold water, I used to use certain method, which was to stay in a bathtub full of cold water about 30 to 40 minutes. Then I replaced 1/3 of the water with ice and stayed there for an hour. This method helped my body to get used to cold water. Now I don't feel cold when swimming in water below 0 degrees Celsius because it became a normal thing to me. All I think is my tactics and strategies. So if you are interested in taking up this sport, I advise you to try my method. Stay in cold water for at least 15 minutes head above the water. If you endure that, then you can start practicing the sport.
When Dawadarch first took an interest in winter swimming, no one around him knew anything about the sport. So he taught himself everything using the internet, especially about nutrition and diet, a vital part of winter swimming.
Meal planning is very important. When swimming in cold water, we lose our body heat and energy quickly, which could lead to spasms. There are even risks of convulsions and muscular contractions. So after winter swimming, we have to restore our energy by eating nutritious foods. For example, 6 pods or serving contains about 800 calories. If I eat 6 pods at my lunch, it won't be digested until evening. Also, eating high-fat foods before winter swimming could cause bowel obstruction. So one has to avoid these kinds of foods before swimming in cold water. For example, I didn't eat any bugs during the Lunar New Year as I was preparing for the competitions. It also negatively affects your body buoyancy level. We also have to pay attention and plan our protein intake. There are specific protein shakes for pre-training and post-training sessions for professional athletes. Some of them are for balancing water in the body. To increase our protein intake during the event, we consume egg white and special vitamins. As for me, I consume 4 types of protein mix and vitamins every day before competition. My training schedule includes swimming in a pool 6 days a week, lift weights 3 times a week, ride a bike once a week, and run 10 kilometers once a week. All these things are necessary for competing on international level. Since 1986, my records have been improving consistently year by year. I won my 4 World Cup titles in Dalfinki category, so I mainly focus on this category and try to improve myself.
Үзүүлэлт нь бол би дадаангахаа төрлөөр л надад боломжтой яг дэлхийд.
In 2017, Mongolia became an official member of International Winter Swimming Association, along with Australia, a milestone Tawadarch had been dreaming of since taking up the sport. But he does not want to stop here. His next goal is to bring one of the 5 stages of Winter Swimming World Cup to Mongolia, specifically to Khuvsgul Lake, where he trains throughout the summer. But to make his dream come true, he needs help.
Би Дэлхийн холбооны ерөнхийлөгч Финланд хүн байдгийг.
International Winter Swimming Association's executive board includes swimmers from Finland, England, Latvia, Russia, and Germany. They all agreed to give Mongolia the right to host one of the 5 stages of World Cup after I submitted the proposal. I think Khuvsgul Lake is the perfect place for this competition. But first, we have to deal with the issues regarding financial sources and logistics, because almost 700 athletes from 25 countries compete at this event. So Mongolian Winter Swimming Federation can't organize this event alone. There are a lot of talks about winter tourism recently. We could use this event to promote our country and boost winter tourism. When it comes to timing, April is the perfect month for this kind of event. International athletes are already excited about the idea of visiting the home country of Great Genghis Khan and swimming in Khuvsgul, 5 million years old freshwater lake. To realize this project and to accelerate the development of this sport, we need support from the government. This is one of the fastest growing sports in the world now. There are even categories for people over 100 years old. I'm 50 now, so as a winter swimming athlete, I'm still very young. I have many years ahead of me.
Энэ спорт хөгжих магадлал маш өндөр.
With the growing popularity of the sport, talks of including winter swimming with the Olympics program are already underway. The first step is already done, as ice swimming was a demonstration sport at the 2014 Winter Olympics in Sochi, Russia. Now, millions of winter swimming enthusiasts are eagerly waiting for International Olympic Committee to accept the sport as permanent addition to the event lineup in the future Winter Olympic Games. Tawadarch is one of them.
Ер нь яг миний зорьсон зорилго өөрөө юу гэхээр би 18 он болон 22 онд
My initial goal was to compete in 2018 World Championships. Since I have achieved that goal, now I'm aiming to qualify for 2022 Winter Olympics. Of course, there are challenges and difficulties. For example, because of financial issues, sometimes I don't eat 5,000 calories of food that's required for professional athlete, which affects my performance. One has to consume enough protein to achieve success in this sport. I could complain about many things, but that won't solve my problems. I just have to work hard. I want to become a world champion and represent my country in 2022 Olympics, so that world know Mongolians can swim in cold water. At my last competition, I took gold and ranked first in my age category. But I don't want to stop here. I will do my best to reach the top and make my people proud.
Зорилго учраас зорилгодоо хүрэхин тулд шантрахгүй байх нэг ийм л юм байгаа юм.
Health benefits of winter swimming. Cold water helps to boost the white blood cell count because the body is forced to react to changing conditions. Over time, your body becomes better at mobilizing its defenses. There is a reason why so many people who participate in cold winter swimming are rarely sick. Cold water swimming flushes your veins, arteries, and capillaries. It forces blood to surface and pushes the cold downwards. In other words, it helps to warm our extremities. Repeated exposure adapts us to the cold. In older and vulnerable people, this is essential. It helps them better cope during harsh winters. The seasons become less of a health risk and more enjoyable. Overall, you will burn far more calories than swimming in hotter conditions. The idea that drinking cold water increases the number of calories you burn may be a myth, but it's a fact that cold water decreases your body temperature so much that the body has to act. It's no coincidence that cold water swimmers are generally thin. Cold water swimming places stress on the body, physically and mentally. Many studies have told us about the link between cold water and stress reduction. Cold water swimmers are naturally calmer and more relaxed. They are stronger in the face of adversity. As a form of exercise, winter swimming has been proven to treat depression. Cold water swimming brings us close to the pain barrier. Endorphins are released when we're in pain to help us cope.